Hi, and welcome to Printmaking on a Budget. Technique number 1 is glue line relief print. And you'll see here that I'm just preparing my plate. You can use any hardboard, such as this grey board that I have, cardboard or mounting board, or just anything that you have spare lying around. You can see here that I'm using just a line technique for this simple pattern. And I'm layering the glue on to create the desired texture that I want. For technique number 2, I'm going to be using a line and I'm going to be using a block technique. So I'm just putting my design onto the board in pencil. Now, one of the things about glue line relief prints is that one layer might not always be enough. So when you are putting your glue on and you're quite happy with your design, once you let it dry, you might find that some of the areas are flatter than you would like them to be. So just be aware that you might have to do 2 or maybe even 3 coats of glue in order to get the raised areas that you're wanting to get. Once dry, you'll be ready to move on to the printing stage. So you can see here that I am rolling my ink out on a sheet of laminate. This is just a cheap way of creating a smooth plastic surface, but equally Perspex or any smooth unit will work. Note that I've registered the paper to the top left-hand corner of the print. This is because I wasn't sure if it was going to print the way I wanted the first time round, and that allowed me to do a second layer in register. Same process here, inking up the board, making sure that there's an even amount of ink on the surface, using a ruler to print it, and here's my finished prints. Technique number 2, polystyrene prints. Here I have my design already drawn out on tracing paper. I've just taped the tracing paper to the polystyrene, and I'm now using a sharp pencil to poke through the tracing paper and engrave my design on the polystyrene. You can use store-bought polystyrene from any art store, or equally, if you're wanting to be eco-friendly, you can use takeaway cartons. So you just have to cut the bottom of the takeaway carton out in order to use it as a printing plate. You can see here that I keep lifting my tracing paper in order to check the design and also add any other little bits of detail that aren't transferring through. Once you're ready, you can remove the tracing paper. You can finish off any little bits of detail that you're wanting to add to it. And then when you're ready, it's time to print. So you can see here I'm using an old printing plate as a printing surface this time. I'm going to try it in blue first. Now, commonly when you ink up a piece of polystyrene, it doesn't always take the ink as well as you want to the first time. So your first print is always just a proof, and you may have to do 2 or 3 prints in order to get the smooth and block colour consistency that you would be looking for. Decided that blue wasn't actually for me, so I'm now doing it in black. I've also, from the proof, drawn some more areas of texture into. I wasn't happy with the overall look of the first print. And I've decided not to register it this time because I won't be overprinting. And this means later on I can cut it down with a nice white border around it and it will look nice and sharp. So as I said, I'm now taking another print because often with polystyrene print, it does take a few layers of ink on the plate to get the desired consistency of ink on your print. You can see I'm also using my hand and really pressing down on it to get the ink to transfer. And here's the final result.